Hey everyone, I'm Malik. Thank you for clicking. In this video, we are going to talk about the past simple tense. We are going to talk about how to form the past simple tense, how to use the past simple tense, and in the end of the video, we are going to see how to pronounce the ed in the past simple tense. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so in English, there are regular verbs and irregular verbs. So now we're going to start with how to form the past simple tense with the regular verbs. So with all the pronouns I, he, she, it, they, you, and we put the verb plus ed. For example, I kicked the ball, you closed the door, she cooked dinner. Okay? And you're going to be careful with the verbs ending in an E. For example, live, close, wipe, etc. So here we put the verb plus D. For example, I lived here in 2012. And you gotta be careful with the verbs ending in an Y and preceded by constant. For example, spy, fly, cry, etc. So here the Y becomes an I. For example, they studied a lot. Okay, so now let's see how to form the past simple tense with the irregular verbs. So, unique past simple forms. So here, the verb itself changes. For example, I built that shed last year. So here, the infinitive form of built is to build. And another example, she taught English in the 1990s. So the infinitive form of taught is to teach. So here you see the verb itself changes. So now let's see how to form the question in the past simple tense. So with all the verbs, regular and irregular, we put did plus the infinitive form of the verb. For example, did she talk to him this morning? And with the negative form with all the verbs, regular and irregular, we put did plus not, which we can contract it into didn't, plus the infinitive form of the verb. For example, I didn't want to come over last night. Okay, so now let's see when to use the past simple tense. So we use it for things that happen in a specific time in the past. And in that case, we use time phrases. For example, yesterday, this morning, in 2009, etc. And for example, they got married in 2009. We can also use the past simple tense in questions after when. For example, when did you buy that t-shirt? Okay, so now let's see how to pronounce the ed in the past simple tense. So the ed have three different pronunciations: t, d, and it. So the ed is pronounced as t after an unvoiced sound. So now you might ask me how to know if the sound is voiced or unvoiced. So I want you to do this little exercise with me. Put your hand in your throat and say these sounds after me. So, if you're not feeling a vibration in your throat, so that means that this sound is an unvoiced sound. And in that case, the ed is pronounced as t. For example, looked, looked, missed, missed. Okay, so the ed is pronounced as d after a voice sound. So I want you to do the same exercise with me to know if the sound is voiced or unvoiced. So put your hand in your throat and say the sounds after me. Z, z, g, g. So you might notice that you are feeling a vibration in your throat, and that means that this sound is voiced, and in that case the ed is pronounced as the. For example, saved, saved, played, played. And lastly, the ed is pronounced as it after a t and a d sound. For example, needed, needed, wanted, wanted. Okay, this is the end of the lesson. I hope you learned something. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss another video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.